I mean, it wasn't his birthday wish. And it wasn't really like his make-a-wish either because he was absolutely fine. But I got to tell you, boiling give or take 100 gallons of pasta in the name of wrestling in a baby pool in my backyard was one of the more memorable birthdays my buddy Nathan ever had.
Nathan just has to be different. I mean, there's Jello wrestling and there's like hot oil wrestling and then pasta and the sauce. Honestly, the pasta, like I could get behind. It was the sauce that threw me off. What was it again? It was a
cacio e pepe, man. You know, like olive oil, a little bit of pepper makes for a spicy grind. I'm telling you.
Well,
but you can use the flamethrower to melt the cheese on top of it all.
This is true, and that's real wrestling with pyrotechnics.
Thank God it wasn't a cream-based sauce because it was the middle of July and just a bunch of bros broing out. Like,
yeah, the cleanup was actually super off-putting. So,
welcome.
I think we hit live.
We did. Yeah, we're live. We're super live. We're bonus live now. Welcome everybody to Wednesday night, the most exciting live Sawdust Talk or woodworking based audio experience available for free that's out there. So like we checked all the charts. We are number one in that specific category. So welcome to episode 115. It's just the gals tonight. We're going to do a little gossip. We're going to dish. We're going to, talk about boys and pasta based wrestling matches, I guess. But before we get into that, I'm Braden. We got Jessie. We got TJ. And we want to give a super special thank you to our sponsors, George Supply Co. If you are looking to get into your own maker swag because you're not a real woodfluencer, if you don't have a t-shirt with your own logo on it, go check out Scott. He can get you set up. Ironically, I think I made that one.
You did make that one, but it's maker swag.
That is true. It is maker swag. That's all I wear now. I don't have a single article of clothing that's not somehow a maker related thing anymore. But also special thanks to the real pride and joy of my closet with their t-shirts, Surf Prep. Their personalities are not nearly as abrasive as their abrasives. So yeah, if you're looking for a sander or abrasives for any sander, go use code Sawdust Talk and save 10% or more on the website. What's up, guys?
Not much.
We made it. We're here.
We did.
It's always a lot of...
We learned tonight what it's like when you let a girl run the show.
Oh, don't you dare blame that on something sexist like being a girl. That was just a lot of frantic button pushing.
And then Braden!
What do I do? What did I break? I don't know.
So, give me a sec.
Welcome to the second live of the night.
Yeah, the other one lasted what, like 5 seconds? Or less.
Not even that. It was a snippet. It was a snippet into the mind.
And now it's gone forever.
So, the first question, and now I've got pasta on the mind.
Mm-hmm.
How much Parmesan on pasta is enough Parmesan? Like, do you let it go to where they're like grinding the pasta or the Parmesan for you? Do you let it go until it gets weird? Or have you ever just like asked them to leave the Parmesan there?
I saw something on the Tiki-Taki about you can actually buy the grater from the Olive Garden. Like you can purchase one when you go to dinner.
Like at the Olive Garden?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, You wave enough 20s around, you can buy just about anything from any restaurant anywhere.
I don't know how enthused I would be about bringing home a previously used cheese macerator.
No. They're brand new.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, that makes me feel a little bit better.
They're not technically brand new. They're certified pre-owned.
Oh, okay. So it comes with a 2-year Toyota guarantee? All right.
Yeah, Toyota-thon. Parmesan. Parmesan?
Yes, Parmesan. No, believe it or not, there's like this wonderful sense memory from my childhood about eating SpaghettiOs and meatballs and then using shake-a cheese out of a cylinder. That's like the loose interpretation of cheese ever. But it's like the smell of opening fresh crayons. You know, it's a sense memory, and it makes me feel fancy like watching Lady and the Tramp. I love spaghetti and meatballs with shake-a cheese.
That's adorable.
Shake-a.
Yes,
and
so Kraft, if you're listening, Kraft Shake-a Cheese, proud sponsors of Sawdust Talk 2024. Think about it.
There you go.
You gotta set the goals. Are we getting swagged up? Which hat am I wearing? I don't have mine. I was wearing it earlier though.
I just got mine yesterday. Makers for St. Jude.
Mike came over on Saturday, like 2 weeks ago, and wanted to do them. And he was like, he's dead set. And I love Mike to death, but he's an early riser, and I am not. Not on Saturdays. I mean, not any day of the week, but not Saturdays. And so he's like, "Oh yeah, when should I head over? We can work on the hats." And I was planning on like cleaning out the shop, like taking everything out that day anyway. And so I thought this would be good for me. Why don't we just do like 8? And then he showed up, just a lot of pep in his step. And let me tell you, I was pepless.
But that's what coffee's for, man. Coffee's for bridging the gap between 4 and 8 in the morning.
The problem is my body, like, I mainline caffeine all day. Like, there's not a, okay, after 5, I just drink decaf or something like that. I'm constantly running it full caffeinated. So there's not enough out there to push me above just like normal, barely functioning.
Have you tried the Celsius yet? The one that had like pre-workout and I think methamphetamine in it for a brief period of time?
What?
I mean, I drink Celsius every day, but I don't feel like I'm getting any methamphetamine.
Because you don't feel like you're getting it, or they don't have methamphetamines in there?
I mean, they must not, because I'm never that awake.
Or you've reached a baseline of methamphetamines. We're learning a lot about small town Jessie today.
Oh gosh, small town,
small town, big city
Jessie.
Big city Jessie. Big city Jessie, what have you been working on lately? What have you been doing?
Oh my goodness, not a whole lot, honestly. I feel like my life is run by my tiny spawns at this point, and their events and sporting events and all of those things. So between them and work and my house, I really haven't been in the shop like a whole lot in like a year.
And yet somehow we have so much chicken content out of you.
What do they say? I don't have time to do my laundry, but I will take on more things that need my attention on a daily basis. Yeah, that's kind of how that goes.
Can't do your laundry, but you can Friends theme a chicken coop.
I did do that.
I really enjoyed it.
It was adorable.
Totes adorbs.
Can you recite all of the names of your chickens? Or can you recite the names of greater than 4?
Let's see. My daughter and her one of her besties came over and they were in the shop with a piece of scrap wood and a Pica marker, writing their names down and descriptions of each chick so they keep track. They're mostly named after food. So there's
fried chicken, broiled chicken,
biscuit and gravy. And no, I'd have to get her up here. What was? Yeah, biscuit gravy. I don't even know. I don't know. I can't keep track. Chickens come and go.
Can we, for just a brief second on the subject of chickens, get distracted by the fact that the movie Chicken Run is not necessarily a sequel to The Great Escape, but it really follows all of the same major plot points of that delightful World War II movie with Steve McQueen, and it's claymation by the same people that brought you Wallace and Gromit. I got a dog that's making a bunch of ruckus. Converse amongst yourselves about Chicken Run. And
I had kind of a hard time getting into like the deeper themes of Chicken Run because it's like one of the darkest children's movies that I can think of off the top of my head.
Obviously, you're too young to have seen The Never-Ending Story.
Well, I just block that nightmare from my head. And then also like an old anime movie. So I used to live in Japan for a couple of years, and so we had like anime stuff. And there was one nightmare dream, something like that. And I just remember having nightmares of these characters, and they go into like this world where the beds they're four posters, and they suddenly like get really, really tall, and they are like walking. And that's all I can remember from that movie. But I remember walking beds with such vividity. So no, I block out a lot of children's movies.
Aren't you the one that's scared of like scary movies?
I'm not scared of scary movies. I just don't like them. Like I can sit through them, but so my wife Aretha loves horror films, and so she's secretly waiting for like all these times where Gabby and I are like out of the room, or we're downstairs in the basement watching TV or doing something else, and she's like, I want to go watch some shit. And by that she means gore. She loves, like, her favorite type of horror movie isn't like shock, like jump scare stuff. She likes watching Mother Nature just absolutely F up humanity. Like, if there's something where people are doing bad things and like nature fights back, she's all about it. And it's terrifying how much she enjoys watching humanity get its ass handed to itself.
Meanwhile,
I'm here for it.
Meanwhile, me throw me in a rom-com. My favorite movie is My Best Friend's Wedding. Like, chuck me in a rom-com, chuck me into like just a lazy comedy. Like, I want to be happy.
And nothing with puke or vomit.
Oh my god.
Or
Nightmare.
slimy stuff.
I don't. Ugh.
I mean, if Never Been Kissed is playing on TV and I'm surfing or I see that it's on, I will drop almost everything and watch that silly Drew Barrymore movie. And not because it's good, but just because it's captivating for reasons that I haven't been able to figure out. I wonder if it correlates to the fact that one time at the Sleep Number bed store, I saw that David Arquette and I had the same number, and he plays her older brother in that movie. And I wonder if it's a connection there.
It could be.
That was almost a TJ rant.
I mean, it's all true. David Arquette's a 40, and so am I. So, you know.
Yeah, it's just one more peek into TJ's life, and just the fact that any story he tells has some weird twist.
Yes, this is true.
Yeah, we gotta rile him up. We gotta get the blood pressure up a little bit for some. We haven't had like a good rant in a minute, so we gotta poke at him.
We do.
You guys haven't, really pushed the right buttons recently. You've been so polite to me.
Tell me about water purifiers.
Dude, no.
That was too recent.
Too soon.
Too soon. It's a racket.
We're gonna have to do a raffle or a giveaway to somebody who can name off some of TJ's craziest stories.
Well, speaking of giveaways, if we want to talk about stuff that we've all been working on, I am about to hit 1,500 followers on the Instagram.
Oh, damn.
And I have been considering making quite a to-do of this. I have some tools. I have some parts to make some tools, some things to potentially be giving away, and also boxes of awesome junk, like an itty-bitty He-Man and his friend itty-bitty Skeletor. I mean, like, you might win that. Who knows? So
you might get just a loose box of things that TJ just really doesn't feel like driving to Goodwill to drop off.
Yeah, like, 1,100 random Pokemon cards. Like, it could be arranged.
All of them water energy cards.
That could maybe be arranged.
That's boring.
But no, there's tools and there's fun. And this weekend, a bunch of my spalted wood is looking just right. So I think I'm going to be doing some St. Jude making this weekend. Maybe even streaming it live if I'm feeling sassy. And sometimes I feel sassy. When we can just hope that things don't come flying off the lathe. Were either of you guys on the live where my bowl came off the chuck?
Every single story about a lathe somehow leads to a story of things flying off. I'm convinced that they're just death traps.
Well, yeah, but I mean, not death traps, but like, there's a lot of professional turners with like situations.
Like, can count to 8?
Yeah, and count to 8 real good.
TJ just needs something in his life that like keeps him, keeps that spark alive in his heart.
Danger.
While almost taking it away, It's a balance.
Well, it's about it's about walking the fine line.
It's about focus, boys and girls. It's about focus. It's about finding your flow state. It's about tuning everything else out and being there and being in the moment and then creating while also, making sure that you don't get maimed. And that's how fun works at my house.
I was waiting for you to mention that you have to keep yourself open to the Force.
You kind of do, though.
I
don't want to get too hippy-dippy or too deep into the Jedi lore, but like there comes a point where the wood actually does kind of tell you what it can and can't do or be. And it can be very vocal about it if you try to convince it otherwise. And by vocal about it, I mean like it'll spit things that hurt when they hit you. So, that's part of it.
Can you do me a favor and whatever you do for Makers for St. Jude, will you please include a Spurtle?
One Spurtle? Is my Spurtle adjacent? Am I Spurtle adjacent? Where are you?
I want a Spurtle and a Maraca.
Well, that should be mine. I should make one.
Yes.
But wasn't Makers Challenge Central? What's the one doing the big thing right now? Yeah.
We could do a Maraca.
Oh, also, the Maker collab?
I think I owe you a tiny bowl, right? You want a little baby bowl?
I want a baby bowl.
You want a little spalted ramekin?
Yeah.
So you can put your little mustards into it when you have your chippy dippy parties.
I love it. It would make me really happy. And I want a Spurtle that's not going to poison me.
You want a non-toxic Spurtle? God,
I want a non-toxic Spurtle.
Okay.
Or you could just teach me how to make one and I'll just make my own.
They're kind of maddening when you get to the scroll saw part. And scroll saws aren't super keen on having a track for a miter gauge so that you go perfectly straight. Mm-hmm. And that's what I learned about scroll sawing that day, is that not only am I bad at it, but I'm also really wished that I had set up some kind of a jig to make sure that I was sawing in a straight line.
Yeah, I don't even have a scroll saw.
Oh, mine is from like 1978. I think it says most of the word craftsman on the side of it. It's pretty exciting stuff.
Most of it.
89 RBI scroll saw with original paperwork.
That's random.
Like,
awesome.
That's just like in the back corner with the stack of tools that people keep saying, hey, do you want this? And I just think, yes, I always need more tools, which is why I have a radial arm saw right now also.
Yeah, but think about how fast you'll be. Is it got a spindle on it big enough to do dados?
Yes.
Okay, well then, I mean, it's got a job to do.
Well, and that was my thought, was I'll just set it up as a dedicated dado saw. But do you know how often I do dados by hand or like by power tool that's not the CNC? Never. I just never do.
Yes, but if you did, you could make some sweet videos and collab with Jeff.
Well, we have the exact same radial arm saw with the exact same broken little crank. So we've talked about it. We've got some ideas.
You guys are like Eskimo brothers. This is beautiful.
We're convinced, like every time we talk, it's like the Spider-Man meme where it's like, we're convinced that it's just that. Like we're just each other from different timelines.
Aww.
I've been slowly trying to seduce Jeff into taking me out on a dinner date to go eat hot dogs off the rollers at QT or 7-Eleven. I'm wearing him down like Steve Urkel. I'm going to get to Oklahoma. It's going to be romantic.
You had better take all the pictures.
Speaking of stuff that's like sitting around that needs to be shipped because it's owed, TJ, I still have these sitting here for you.
Yeah, no, those need to be in my shop now. Yesterday.
Because I don't. These are cubes. I don't know what to do with these. I can't make a cutting board or something out of these.
You just gotta, get mad at them and beat them up.
Seems like a lot of work. I think I'd rather just ship it down to you.
Yes. Is it down? Yeah, Omaha's down. Yeah.
Wouldn't Omaha be up?
Yes, from here. Yes, but you would be shipping it down.
You know what else I got yesterday? I got a couple of t-shirts.
Oh.
Do you guys remember what t-shirts these are?
No.
No? They're from Mark Adams.
Oh, awesome. I want to see.
I don't remember these t-shirts.
You don't
remember? I remember the Onefinity ones that you posted about, but I don't remember
these.
We
might have talked about it after the live, on the after, chat. But
that was like 20 episodes ago.
No, it wasn't. Was it? It wasn't that long ago.
It was between 5 and 20 episodes ago.
Okay, something like that. Anyways, no, he got the Team Morgan and Team Stone shirts in an extra small.
Yay!
And he thought it was a joke. He was like, haha, funny. Like, you sent me really small shirts. And so I was like, just send them to me. I'll wear them. But I don't know which one to wear first. It feels it's a very, very hard decision. And so I'm like, it's giving me anxiety.
Yeah, because it's like picking your Pokemon at the very, very beginning of the game. If you get the wrong one, tough luck. One of them's going to hate you for the rest of the ever.
Yeah, I don't think either one of them would hate me forever, but it's still a very hard decision.
I don't think that Stone is a forgiving person. He holds a grudge.
It's funny. I put that on my story, though. I was like, I'm going to put a poll. I'll let you guys get one.
Did it say 50-50?
Nope.
Did it lean towards Stone?
Nope. So then I feel like I should just wear the Stone shirt first,
Or, here's an idea. Here's what you do. You cut them both in half, but not the way you think. You crop top them. And then you sew the bottom of one onto the other. So you've got like Stone's eyes, but Morgan's mouth.
I should do it right at the mustache. So it's like half of one mustache and half the other one.
Do it. You must.
I think you must do that.
It's imperative.
That would be amazing.
and then just like creepy, like sew somebody else's eyes onto it. Just really mess with everybody. Just
hot glue some big googlies on there.
Children of the Corn, this thing.
The googly eyes on those shirts at Workbench Con were really, really messed with me. I didn't like it. It made me uncomfortable. People were walking around with Stone and Morgan like googly eyes and
just looking at you.
It was just really odd.
TJ, you are just, we can see just the true alpha dog in you right now, really leading the pack. Get up on this couch. Get up now. Get.
And down.
She's being so needy. It's pretty cute, though. My dog is adorable.
Adorbsies.
Yeah. Little Beatrix kiddo.
Come again? Donde está?
Oh, my dog's name is Beatrix Kiddo. Sorry for talking over you, Jessie.
That's okay. I was saying, Braden, what do you have going on? Aside from moving around everything in your shop and
again
upgrading.
I'm always moving everything. I don't sit still well. So, okay. You may notice these things are switched again. So I worked with Onefinity and swapped out my CNC for the Foreman. So now I've got a 4x4, which means I had to expand the torsion box top. So I got that done. I had to change my dust collection back right where it was. That was the real kick in the teeth, was putting 6-inch PVC pipe right back where it was. So had to do that, had to rerun all the laser stuff. I now have 220 for something that is going to be coming up soon. I'll talk about. This side of the shop's just a disaster because it's got everything. And then I don't know if we can see right there. My dad likes to tinker. And so he just came over the other day. He's like, you've got your air compressor up in the attic. I'm fixing it so that you can use it now. So he's been like plumbing in air lines all over so that I can have air. And then he also dabbles in like relays. So I've got these little things sitting around. So if I hit this button, it actually turns on my dust collector. And if I hit this one, it turns on my air compressor up in the attic. So I've been doing all that. What's that?
Does it work right now?
You're a wizard, Harry.
It's so cool. And it doesn't need batteries at all. Like you don't change the batteries. It's like it static shocks itself and then sends enough to activate the relay. I don't know how it works. I just know that I've got like 4 of these things and they're just everywhere that I would ever need the dust collector.
Is there a way to put it on like not a lanyard,
like a chain?
You need to affix it to yourself somehow. That's my problem, is like the chuck keys for all of my various drills and things. Like I've got them on like neon orange lanyards with carabiners so that I can like clip them in the most visible places ever. And I still manage to lose them, or I start accumulating them in like a pile of rainbow paracord, which is really exciting to find later on because I was putting them a place.
I just keep this in my back pocket, and then if I flex my right cheek, it turns on the dust collector, and the left cheek, and it turns on the air compressor. And then if I do like a double cheek thing, everything gets noisy.
Oh, is that because you're wearing your casual clothes, not your church clothes? Is that what's going on? Do a little Nacho Libre against the wall and just...
Sometimes in the privacy of his room, a man must wear stretchy pants.
Did you guys see Luke's daughter's song?
Oh
my gosh. Luke in the Garage, go look at it. It's hilarious. It's about diarrhea and a fart.
Oh,
it's so cute.
Does she use the phrase gambled and lost by any chance?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, that's my favorite euphemism for that experience.
Gamble and lost. You can never don't trust a fart.
Well, especially over 30.
I kind of want to play it right now.
Instead of being a rambling man, you're a gambling man.
Oh, speaking of songs and current events, while Jessie's poking around on her phone, because I know she's fast. Braden, the Aquabats are on tour again. Are you familiar with the musical stylings of the Aquabats?
I thought this was going to go in a Taylor Swift direction, so no,
No,
I'm
I'm
not
sorry.
not aware. I know
It's
Aqua.
yeah. Well, the Aquabats are like a goofy punk band who's sort of had a kids' TV show, and the lead singer is one of the producers of Yo Gabba Gabba, also. And they're touring again, and they're going to be playing in Kansas City, which is a relatively close drive. And I am slowly convincing my wife to let me take my 5-year-old with me because their songs are kid appropriate for the most part.
Except the song where that one song where they just drop the F-bomb 47 times in a row.
It's less that. But no, they've got a song called Shark Fighter, and it's a song about a guy whose girlfriend got taken by sharks, and so now he's getting even with the sharks with his long wavy blonde hair and him being the bravest man in the sea.
Can you sing a bit of it? Can you hum it and like whip your long blonde hair around?
I wish. Well, I mean, the chorus talks about that his only goal is a shark casserole, and that his only need is to make sharks bleed. And yeah, it's really fun. It's good, goofy ska punk music.
I want to bring my 5-year-old to this.
Yeah.
All I need is Gabby learning new words, though. Her favorite word, and she is like taught her entire daycare class, is butt cheeks, which is hilarious.
Yeah, no, that's still cute.
But she says bye to like all her friends. Bye, butt cheeks.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
And like they just yell it back and forth. Bye, butt cheeks.
I mean, it's not a bad word.
It's not, but when you scream it at Target, you know, you get looks.
It's cute. It's
Bro, what are you worried about looks in Target?
Oh, to be clear, I'm never worried about looks in Target. But you know, we're in a society. I'm trying to not let my kid teach other kids words because I'm okay with hearing butt cheeks over and over and over again. But somebody else, you know, it could be going to grandma's and they don't need to deal with that.
You could offend somebody's grandma's delicate sensibilities or make her hungry for a specific cut of pork. Like, I'm not sure, but either way.
Everyone's offended by everything, though. So you win some, you lose some.
Just, you know, I feel like there's things written on the shirts at Target that are more offensive than the word butt cheeks.
That's true.
In all departments.
I do get, speaking of things that are more offensive than the word butt cheeks, I get a kick out of my daughter. She's sassy and kind of an a-hole like I am, like in a fun way. But she's smart like her mom, which really sets me up for some interesting conversations with her. She knows what she's talking about all the time. And so we'll be driving along and I'll, you know, get cut off or somebody is going to like drive into me because nobody knows how to drive but me ever. And, you know, I'll mutter under my breath. I'll drop a little F-bomb, a little spice, a little flavor. And I'll just hear from the back. And I'm not like yelling it. I don't get road rage, but I'll just hear from the back, Dad, we don't say the F word. And she says it. We don't say the F word. The F word is a bad word. We don't say the F word. I'm like, okay, like I get it. You understand that you're not supposed to say it. Let's take a look at the fact that you just said it 3 times. You understand the letter of the law, but you're kind of missing the intent.
Hey,
like
look,
you just saw an excuse where you could get away with saying it 3 times.
We can all agree that for the most part, the executive branch of most legislation feels like it's their job to exercise and not exemplify the laws. True. And I can see a really nice career in executive politics for your daughter. That's exciting.
Either that or law or just like hostile negotiations. But yeah, I mean, everything's a negotiation with her. Everything is a barter. Everything is like we're not going to do it now, but we're definitely going to do it later sort of thing. Like she sets me up to fail because she never forgets. So I'll just be like, yeah, we'll do it later. And then she just, hey dad, remember in this verbal contract of yours where you said we were going to get candy and go through the car wash? Time to pay the piper.
Pretty powerful Sunday right there, though.
Oh, and it's great. Like most of the time we'll go through the car wash. I've got one of those subscriptions or whatever where you car wash all the time. And usually we'll get a little bag of candy or a little something like that, and we'll drive through. And the other day we're driving home and Gabby's like, Dad, we should get a car wash. Truck needs to get washed. I'm like, well, you're right, it does. All right, yeah, let's go get a car wash. But it's dinner time, so we're not going to get candy. I'm like, no candy. We're going to get a car wash though, and it'll be fun. She's like, wait, no candy? I was like, well, yeah, no, it's dinner time. Like, we're literally driving home with dinner right now. We're going to go eat some mac and cheese. She's like, just lost it. Like, she's like, no, what's the point? I don't want to go. Okay, well, do you want to go home? No. It's like, do you want to go to the car wash? No. What do you want? No. Like, settle down, kid. Settle down.
You're going to have your full.
We're in the car wash now. Like, this is happening. We're already here.
You can't back out of this thing.
Just sat like she was like beaten in the back seat, and she knows how to get to her car seat is right behind mine, and she knows that I hate people kicking the back of my seat. So when she wants to annoy me, she'll just slowly add pressure to the back so that I don't notice it right away, and then suddenly I'm like, I am so uncomfortable. Get your feet off my chair. Like I said, she's like an adorable little a-hole, and I love it. I love every second of it.
Aw, we're bringing out like the soft daddy side of Braden tonight.
Oh, I love being a girl dad. Like, I love it so much. I'm going to raise this kid to raise hell. Aretha and I joke that it's we're not going to have to worry like, it sucks because we have to deal with this right now, but later we're going to have a strong, independent young woman that don't give no F's about nothing that nobody says, especially no boys or girls or whatever. So, hard time now, but we won't have to worry about her later.
Very true. TJ, are you muted?
No, I'm here, and I am excited for strong, independent children. My eldest son has taken up the Pokemon card game, which is why I mentioned being able to provide Pokemon cards as prizes. And it's super cute because he's like 5.5, so we're past the like, okay, everything that we have to do has to be like itty bitty kid stuff. We get to do like big kid stuff now. And that's good. I think we're probably going to attempt fishing for longer than an hour at a time this year. So that's pretty cool. I miss fishing.
Fishing is good.
And then my youngest, I'm convinced, is going to make me quit caffeine. Like, he is probably going to be the midlife crisis that happens to me. Like, it's like it'll just be a constant source of elevated blood pressure because he's awesome. But I think he's awesome because he's really similar to me. And I know what I was like as a 10 to 17-year-old, and it's going to be a lot.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, once you get to like 10, it's really fun to have kids that are a little more do their own thing. And my daughter's like a mini me. So like you're saying, TJ, she is a mini me in all senses of that phrase. She likes to be in the wood shop. She likes to help with the animals. She likes to be girly, and she is sassy as F. So it's fun. And she just wants to do all of the things. So right now that seems to be my life, is running around and making sure she gets everywhere she needs to go.
My kid has no fear. And that's the real source of my elevated blood pressure. Like, she's a jumper and a climber and a yeeter. So I constantly hear from like the living room, like, hey, Dad, watch this. I'm like, I know when I turn around, I'm not going to like what I see. And she's like pushing the couches further and further apart to see how far she can jump from one to the other before she can like risk hurting herself.
Does she actually say yeet?
God, she did once, and it was the funniest thing. It was worth every $dollar that's ever paid for, gone into daycare. It was worth giving up free time and disposable income. It was worth it to hear my kid yell yeet and jump off the couch. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. It's the funniest thing I'll ever see. I loved every second of it. But she climbs on everything, like all of our cabinets, all of the doors, everything. And so I am 2/3 of the way through installing a literal climbing wall in our basement. And I've designed this thing. I CNC'd a bunch of holes in a piece of plywood. But it's meant to look like kind of mid-century modern. So it's like rounded, cornered square type things. And it's a bunch of individual pieces that then also have all the handholds. And it just goes up a wall. And I got the second piece up that goes to the very top of the ceiling done right before this. 2 seconds later, she's like on the ceiling and just like, Dad, this is awesome. I'm like, wear yourself out. I'm going to get on the podcast, so don't hurt yourself.
Are you gonna post about that?
Yeah, I'm gonna post about it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna post about it like now because I've got the content, or if I'm gonna do it when I actually have it done and I've got the third piece all the way up. I'm so bad at posting about stuff that's not done. Was that like a bear trap, or what are you doing? What's happening?
My dog has found a plastic water bottle. Please excuse me. And this hand gesture is the threaded T-nuts. Did you put those on the back of the holes for the climbing holds? Brain.
This is my strong hand. You got to grab a strong hand.
Did you see that with the construction one where guy gets mad on the job site? He goes to like throw something, and the other guy's like, no, left-handed anger. He's like, ugh. That's what that reminded me of. Ugh. Left-handed anger.
That was one of the best uses of my CNC, I think, was drilling out like 200 holes so that I basically just had to set the T-nuts on and whack them with the dead blow once, and they were in.
Feels good, man. Yeah, in high school, we used to build climbing walls in each other's garages and make climbing holds out of... Excuse me, I used the catalyzing fiberglass resin because... epoxy and 2-part urethane was a little bit harder to come across, but yeah, and so we'd sculpt molds out of florist foam and then make a silicone mold out of like caulk because we were in high school and didn't have any money, and then you fill it with sand mixed with fiberglass resin from the hardware store, and you get an extra little tube of hardener so that it catalyzes all the way down. Climbing hold.
Did it just tell you that you didn't say epoxy?
I know, I've been practicing.
Epoxy.
Yeah, your years of ridicule have finally started to pay off, and now I know that it's epoxy. Epoxy. You guys gonna go eat some bagels?
Epoxy. Sorry.
Epoxy.
Epoxy.
Yeah, it's the capital letter. Epoxy.
Epoxy. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Have you guys seen all of the Makers for St. Jude stuff going on right now?
Tell me more about Makers for St. Jude stuff.
Yeah, I've seen it. I can't keep track of it.
It's a lot. I'm super excited. There, is it Willow and Wash, and then Elephant.
You have a hate.
That got loud. Sorry.
Dang.
Sorry. Yeah. There's some really cool stuff right now. One of them's this. Ash is doing a lion, a scroll sawed lion face, and it's amazing, like absolutely amazing. I actually donated because I actually want to win it. I don't know if that's against the rules, but I want it.
I don't think it's against the rules. A raffle ticket's a raffle ticket where I come from.
It's so.
If you end up winning and someone screams nepotism.
There's so many pieces to it too. It's just incredible.
Speaking of scroll saws, have you guys noticed that CNC companies seem to be targeting scroll saw artists recently? Like, they seem to be finding scroll saw artists and sending them CNCs. And I think that it's like hey, we just want you to know that we can do this with computers.
What was it? Ricky TV got upset. He's like calling people out for getting like lasers and stuff.
No, what happened?
He's like, technology's taking over the world. Like,
absolutely. I love it. I'm all for it.
Oh my goodness.
The only thing that I think could make Surf Prep better. Oh, here, this is the idea. Surf Prep needs to make a Roomba, but instead of like brushes, it just has abrasive pads on it. So you just put it on top of tables that you've made, and it just like sands through the grits.
Gosh, that's hilarious.
They have one for barbecues. I saw, I don't know if it was on TikTok or just Menards, but like it has little metal brushes, and it just like through your grill.
So like somebody made robotic scrubbing bubbles from the TV commercials?
Yes.
Oh, that's super cool.
Isn't that insane?
That's cray.
Yes, I like that very, very much.
For those of you just listening, it's the line design from Ash Dawes, Willow Wash Designs. And she's running her Makers for St. Jude raffle right now. The piece is not done yet, but it's stunning.
Yeah, Willow Ash Designs was a season 1 guest, I think.
Was she? I don't know.
Talk. Yeah.
I think we should.
Once upon a time. Well, boys and girls, the time is now 9:57 Central Time.
Oh, and yeah, that's right. We did start like 15
we are
minutes
getting
late.
to the end of our show. Braden, do you want to give a motivational quote, or do you want to pretend that you're TJ and ask me to be the motivational quote?
No, what TJ, ask Braden.
What if we do it at the same time and we just talk over each other, and they've got to like dig their way through the word vomit?
Well, see, the problem with doing that is that I'm afraid that combination of energy and enthusiasm would create like a downdraft, okay? And then the theme from Flash Gordon might start playing.
Flash.
And a breeze would blow through our workshops. And I'm pretty sure that like a little bit of sawdust and that much electricity could cause a tornado, fire, or the birth of a star. It just seems unwise.
I'm 100% willing to risk. You think Thomas Edison thought, man, this is pretty unwise dealing with all this electricity? No, he did it. And then we got America. Or electricity.
That's exactly
light
what
bulbs.
Happened. I couldn't agree with you more.
For more history facts, visit littlebugwoodworking.com.
All right, Braden, so here's the deal. At the end of every show, we like to ask one of our guests to think of a motivational idea, a thought, something maybe that's been running through your head, or an earworm from a song that's captivated your attention, that makes you enthused to kick open the door to your shop, to go pick up a tool, to go make a mess, to go get awesome. And my question to you is, what has that been? What would you like to share with our listeners?
Well, to quote the great Brooks and Dunn, Cadillac, Blackjack, Get Down, Boot Scoot, and Boogie. No, I mean, I'm so shocked. I've never heard this question before, and I've never thought about it. But the thing that I have noticed is a trend with like 90% of our guests when we ask this question is it always revolves around the same theme. And it's always, my answer too is, it's always something about just do it, just start, just try. I think so many people get caught up in, how do I do this? Do I have the tools to do this? Do I need a big CNC to do this? Or they get caught up in all of these things, and so many ideas just get stuck sitting out there in the ether, or in the world, that never are fully realized or even really considered outside of just like this concept of, that'd be really cool if I could do that. And I think that if more people took those ideas and just went for it, we could literally make the world a better place. Not just in making. We could have some really dope stuff in making, but that expands out to like every part of your life, of just try things. Like, what's the absolute worst that could happen? Suddenly, like, you get hit by a car and die. Like, starting stuff isn't going to change that. Somebody's not going to like you. Who cares? It's not high school anymore. Nobody gives a shit. Just try stuff. And if it doesn't work, the best part about like woodworking and working with these materials is they literally grow on trees. Just try it again. Just go for it. Just do it. Please don't sue me, Nike. So that's what I've got. Like, and that's something that I fight a lot, is I think I want to do things, but I'm not 100% sure how to do them. So I think I'm just going to watch YouTube until I figure it out. And I never start, because I don't want to ruin material, and I don't want to waste time and break bits, things like that. Who cares? You can replace all that stuff. Just get out there and try stuff.
Yes, remember, boys and girls, you are the one that is worried about what other people are thinking. Other people will still think it, whether you worry about it or not. But if you let you be the problem, or you realize that you are the problem about being concerned about what other people think, tell you to be quiet on the inside. Say, hey, inside me, be nice to me. I like me. I happen to be me. I'm wearing my underpants, which reminds me who I am every morning when I put these pants on.
Yeah, I mean, end of the day, the only person who's going to care that your kid was yelling butt cheeks in the middle of a Target as soon as you walk out the doors of Target is you. So who cares? Plus, butt cheeks is such a funny word.
It does give other people a good story to tell when they go visit their friends. Oh my gosh, you should have heard this kid yelling butt cheeks.
I couldn't try on my Goodfellow and Co. Henleys in peace because there was a toddler who kept saying butt cheeks. What a day.
Okay, Rebecca.
What kind of Valley Girl Targets are y'all going to?
This is just my impression of people who... Wait, or what's the character from Saturday Night Live? She goes to Target. She gets Goodfellow and Co. Henleys.
I don't know.
And lip glares.
I just think of Negan from Key and Peele. You guys know that character?
No, I don't.
Oh man, I'm gonna send you some stuff. I've been watching a lot of Key and Peele lately. I've been like cycling through Netflix stuff that I can just let play in the background, and Key and Peele's good stuff.
Wonderful. Key and Peele, you want to get in on 2024 sponsorship? We'd be happy to have you.
Well, we are very, very open on terms. We are ready to be taken advantage of contractually, not like in weird ways.
Okay, one more lap through the sponsors also before we get going. George Supply Co. If you want a tiny microsite with all of your swag on it and a portal for which people can purchase that, you call and reach out to Scott from George Supply Co. And let me tell you, kids, is if you're gonna be doing some sanding, you should be sanding the best way that you can sand, because it doesn't have to suck unless it's connected to dust collection. And Surf Prep can service all of those needs for the discerning, refined, fine woodworker.
I love how we pitched like, hey, part of our sponsorship is like an open and close organic organic plug, and then we make them the most aggressive advertisements as possible. Like, yes, we lean into it.
Yes, but Surf Prep, their personalities are not abrasive. It's just their paper.
If you don't buy Surf Prep, then you can go yourself.
Mm-hmm.
What movie is that reference from?
But also use
that is Talladega
Nights. Anyway, Maker News too. Surf Prep's got the Maker Palooza extravaganza thing out at their headquarters in June.
June 8th.
June 8th.
California.
Sponsored by one of them other podcasts. So I hear they've got taco trucks, and that was about all I needed to hear.
Yep. They do.
But so anyway, if you guys are free, come hang out with us.
Or shoot us a message if you have questions.
We'll fake that we have answers. We'll just make them up.
All right, boys and girls, we will see you all next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Jesse, play our closing theme music.
A whole new world. Sawdust talks where you wanna be.
Out there.
I'm not singing.
Bye-bye.